Record on the clock. All right. So I just wanted to start with just your full name and then the city and state you live in.
It's Larry Andreano in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Awesome. And what's your business name and what do you do for for the company?
Well, my business is called the Tatland Group, and I own it.
Awesome. That's great. What kind of tasks do you do with your business?
Well, I'm a financial advisory services business, so I provide financial advice mostly to individuals, families, not as much to businesses.
Okay. And do you have people that work for you, or are you just independent?
I'm by myself at the moment. We're bringing on board a younger man in a couple months.
Awesome. Cool. Tell us a little bit about your health before you heard about Tiger. So what kind of condition do you think you were in, or how did you feel about your overall health?
Well, I'm generally pretty healthy. I've been diabetic for 34 years now.
Okay.
So that's the thing. I was I had a Bell's palsy a year and a half ago, and I had to take steroids, and I put on some weight because of that. So even before I started Tiger, I knew I had to start doing something to lose some of the weight.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really lost much. And then started Tiger.
Yeah. And how'd you hear about Tiger?
Well, again, I'm good friends with Steve, and we talk pretty often. And he told me about. Well, I had known about the program before because it's his business, And,
yeah.
And then he said, Larry, you should try it. So I did.
Yeah. Were you skeptical when you heard about the business when Steve started first telling you about it? Did you have any doubts or?
A little bit, but I also I was meeting with Steve at the time in person and saw that, the shape he was in and stuff like that. And so I was a little skeptical because I just still, you don't know what all they're going to do or how much it's going to help, if anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And so did Steve just sort of encourage you, or was it health things that eventually made you want to join?
Well, Steve, strong encouragement, so as a friend, he's like, Larry, I want to see you live a long life,
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
So that's about how it all got started.
Yeah. And what was kind of your first experience? Do you remember the first time you met with Dr. Matt?
Yeah, very professional, knowledgeable about things. And again, the tests that he requested be done were way more in depth than anything again, I've been diabetic. I go to the doctor at least twice a year and often 3 and 4 times a year just for diabetic checkups. And, I've never had some of those tests done. So that was like, wow, okay, they're testing stuff that your regular physician just doesn't bother to do.
Yeah.
And of course, possibly because insurance companies, which is a problem, of course, that the insurance companies are ruling the world and not the doctors.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing. And do you remember anything when you started the program that stuck out to you besides the testing? Were there any sort of moments, maybe with results and talking to Dr. Matt, that you kind of felt like you might be sort of headed in a really good direction?
There's no real moment or anything. A lot of the things that come up, some of the things that come up, I was already doing, as far as some breathing exercises. As I do that normally, before I go to sleep, deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing and stuff like that. So I just kind of got overweight, a little bit. And then, seeing the test results and then seeing them again where I've made pretty good progress. So my A1C for blood sugar has come down by 1 percentage point at least.
Yeah, that's
It's more
awesome.
than that. So it just makes a big difference. And I definitely have lost weight, but I think I was kind of on that track anyway. It just helps,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So I'm down about 15 pounds from when we started.
that's awesome. And do you remember when you started? What time of year was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah,
It was going to be, it was last year sometime, but
yeah, yeah, nice. That's awesome. And any other health benefits you've kind of figured out or seen being in the program?
um, no, I mean, just I think it's hard to correlate your energy levels with the weight and how much weight I would have lost without it, but because it's just kind of supportive.
Yeah,
I was doing that. I was starting to do that anyway because I didn't like the weight I had put on. So and now pants are definitely looser, and I
yeah,
gotta buy some new clothes. But I still got about 10 more pounds. I had a goal of getting back down to 200 pounds from I was up to
yeah,
225. So
nice. Yeah, that's good. That weight loss is
my
amazing.
A1C is down, so that's
Yeah,
better. Everything's better. And then most recent conversation with Dr. Matt and him looking at all the tests, his words, almost every test you've improved on since
that's
the
awesome.
first time. So, um, they're seeing results.
Yeah, yeah, that's got to be encouraging.
But and a lot of it was, him saying, "Hey, you don't process starches. Your body doesn't process starches that well, so stay away as much as possible."
Yeah,
So
yeah, good advice. Yeah, and targeted, right? So knowing after that testing and all those labs that this is about you specifically, and this is what your body's doing versus sort of the generic of, we should all eat healthier.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
great.
mean, I really didn't think potatoes or pasta or even the bread was that big a deal, but
Hmm.
trying to stay away as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's sort of, it's not always like the big magical things that change our lives, right? It's sometimes just the awareness about what's happening with our bodies. So
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
there's since you're one of the coaches,
Yeah,
the focus on sleep. Well, I've always slept enough. I've never needed a lot of sleep,
yeah,
and I still don't. I probably sleep 6 hours a night, and that's plenty.
yeah,
So I don't walk around feeling tired or anything. So that whole thing to me was like, yeah, I sleep fine.
yeah, yeah,
But for
yeah,
other people, I could see where they don't sleep. Just talking to friends as we talk, there's a lot of people that don't sleep
right.
well and walk around feeling tired all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just the quantity, it's the quality. And waking up not feeling refreshed or not feeling, like you're rested, it impacts the rest of your day. So yeah,
I
it's a
would
big part of it.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
always been a high energy person, so
not an issue.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Any last thoughts on Tiger? What would you tell somebody who you might know that wasn't feeling healthy that would you recommend Tiger for
I
them?
have recommended it to some friends already. You know,
Awesome.
I don't know if they've signed up or not yet, but I've definitely recommended it. Um, how do I want to say it? There's a point where I would not have spent the money. When my kids were young and I was saving for their college and all that
Hmm.
stuff, I would have been like, no, I'm not doing that. But as you get older and you don't have those responsibilities anymore, and you're looking at your situation, you can go, all right, I'm going to do this for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot depends on the situation people are in. But
Yeah. It's a worthwhile investment.
yeah, it is. You pay a lot of money to have. I just paid last year a ton of money to have a whole bunch of trees cut down. That's not going to help my life expectancy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that makes total sense. Well,
So
awesome, Larry. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate just answering some of those questions and sharing your experiences with Tiger.
yeah, like I said, overall, I think it's been worthwhile. a good investment.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.